Okay, I will start it بقى now, and after that we will upload the material. As I said, that we will talking about leading the people through a crisis. Today we will talk about three main points: how to lead through a crisis, how to manage the people through a crisis, relationship matter during a crisis, and the third point is maintaining perspective in a crisis. This is the mainly 3 points we will talking about it today. Our live session, it will be approximately 13 minutes. After that, we will leave 10 minutes for the discussion or comments or feedback. I will start in the first, before we talking about leading in the crisis, as we during now living in the COVID-19 crisis. It's a part to a lot of leaders or managers in the organization. They facing a crisis suddenly. It's a global crisis. It's panic all the world, all the countries, all the industries. Therefore, we all a leader get panicked. They didn't know how to lead the people through a crisis time. Therefore, we will talking today how we try to help each other, how we can lead people during a crisis time. Not all my talking today about the COVID-19 crisis. It's not at all. It's talking about when I face the crisis about political crisis, economic crisis, de-evaluation crisis, new regulation from the government crisis, competition, any kind of crisis. We're not talking about today about the COVID-19 crisis at all. We will talk how to lead the people during a crisis time. We will face the crisis, not only the leader, everyone get panicked, get a unfamiliar environment, unfamiliar decisions. But the most important point in the leader, they faced to think and behave in the ways that feel unfamiliar. We are not familiar with this situation. Even it's technological, financial, natural health crisis, work environment, work community, but the leader must take a decision and think and behave in way that feel unfamiliar. It's okay, what is the problem? The problem that in built in the humanity, that we hope or we feel we are good in the familiar position. But in the unfamiliar position, we get panicked. We didn't have a normal how to think or how to behave. This is emergency situation, need a response plan, not a response plan, need a emergency high response plan and adaptive and corrective and factor present direction. Need a highly emergency response plan. How I can do it? If I am not feel I am okay, I am not familiar with this position. How you ask me to lead people or think or take a decision with unfamiliar? This is, we will how to try today, how to learn how we do it when we face any kind of in crisis. Okay. When crisis time, it's very, very difficult to take a decision. Before we take a decision, first thing you need to remember yourself that you need to take a decision. You need to take the most correct decision quickly. How I can do it quickly and how I do it okay, how I do it easily. You need to take a decision. To take this decision, you must to be first calm. You need to be a calm, not to be panicked. If you be panicked and continue to be panicked during a crisis time, it will be very difficult to take the most correct decision and not be a quickly decision. You need to be in first كده, remember in your mind, you must to be a calm. During our presentation, we how to try the 4 dimension, how to be a calm, how to help myself, how to train myself to be a calm, to take a decision more quickly and take the right decision for this during a crisis. As the first point we talk about it, how I will take a decision. during the crisis time, how I take emergency response plan, how I take adaptive factor, how I can take a decision quickly during the crisis time. The first thing, need to be a calm. This is the first point. Okay. When I be a calm, I not lead myself only, I need a team with me. How I can lead my team during a crisis? You will remember we need to do it 5 points. If you need to lead your team during a crisis time, you need to do 5 points. First one is a seek about credible information. As a leader, it's your responsibility to determine the reliability of the information. You need the information, as we said before, to take a most correct decision. We need information, reliable data, up-to-date information. Therefore, you need to seek a credible information. Please avoid to getting your information only from social media or from news or from any biased sources for the information. You need a credible information. Seek for credible information. Please, as we said, we need a responsive plan. We need a very reaction plan for the crisis time. To take or to make this plan, we take a decision. First, you need a credible information. Please don't get your information from social media or any information maybe to be biased. Okay, this is the first one. The second one is use appropriate communication channels. How it be, we'll say, appropriate communication channel, not a communication channels, appropriate, how to use it appropriate. If we said that during the COVID-19, we need a social distance because of the spread of the disease during the people, we need, okay, separation between my team. Therefore, you need to use appropriate communication. During that, you can use virtual meetings, any kind of applications, we can use it. Okay, if you need to have a physical with your team during this crisis, okay, minimize the number of team. If you need a kind of face-to-face communication, you must use a face-to-face communication. You must use appropriate communication channel. Use appropriate communication channel to spread information to your team, to spread the transparency. It's a key of the information in the organization. If it's not a transparency, you will be split the oil on the organization. You will get a lot of rumors. You will get a lot of fights inside the organization because your team, it's not unfamiliar with this situation too. You need to make your team to be a calm too. To make your team to be a calm, you need to use appropriate communication channel. As we said, the first one, it's seek for the credible information. The second one, it's use appropriate communication channel. How to use the communication channel, as we said, face-to-face, virtual, the appropriate way. Okay. When we use or we can use the communication channel, you must use the 3R. 3R. Review, repeat, reinforce. Review, repeat, reinforce. We have a quote. If information is shared only once, it cannot be assumed everyone have received it. Or if they did, they not understand it. You cannot share information only once. You need to do it, review, repeat it, reinforce. Okay? As we said until now, how I can lead my team during a crisis time, seek for the credible information, use appropriate communication channel. When you use appropriate communication channel and send the communication information for your team, please don't forget the 3R, review, repeat, and reinforce. Okay? The third point is explain what your organization is doing during a crisis. What we will doing? We will doing for the cost reduction. We will doing that for have hold the investment. We will doing okay. We will continue production. We will slow down the production until how it will working. You must during the crisis time. You need to explain what your organization will doing during a crisis. How will company will be charged? How to take a charge? How to be proactive? How to take an initiative? What we will do. You must make your team part of you from your decision. You will give them proactive, recharge, take an initiative, and they need to be continue take a decision with the organization. You must to be communicate your action honestly with your team. Okay. Till now, how we will lead my team during a crisis, seek for the credible information, use appropriate communication channel, and as we said, we need the 3R, review, repeat, reinforce, explain what your organization is doing about the crisis, and be honestly with your team. The first one, be present, be visible, be available for your team. Your team is panicked too. Your team need to be a calm. How they need to be a calm? They need to see you. They need you to have you are there. You can see you. Even we cannot do it as a face-to-face during, if we give an example, during the COVID-19, it can be make a conference meeting. We can have a daily Zoom meeting. No problem. Be present, be visible, be available. If your team cannot be calm, they cannot be protective. They cannot have any kind of productivity. During a crisis, employee have to need hear from their leaders frequently. When leaders appear, they will be a calm, they can be focused, they can get idea, they can get a solution, they can get solve a problem. Let your employee know how they can be reach you. Answer their questions, give them updates, send them information. Please be present, be visible, be available. Not be face-to-face, can be any kind of present or visible or availability, no problem. But you need to be present and visible and available to your team. As we said until now, how can I lead my team through a crisis? Seek for the credible information. Please don't use a biased information. Use appropriate communication channel, any kind of appropriate communication channel. When you use the appropriate communication channel, please use the 3R. Review the information, repeat the information, reinforce the information. Explain what your organization is doing about the crisis. Be present, be visible, be available. What is the most important point? Number 5, decided organization resources to be ready for the future crisis. If you have a mind that this is COVID-19, it will be the last crisis, or it will be end, no. Every day now, during globalization, during huge changes in technology, or a lot of points we are facing every day. Every day we can face a different crisis. Every day we must decide the organization resources for a future crisis. You must to be ready for a next urgent phase. You must to be ready and have a recovery plan. You must to be ready when you are get a normal. How will be the new normal looks like? Whatever the new normal looks like, but you have a recovery plan, and you have a system to be ready for the new future crisis. If a similar emergency in the future have faced, will you prepared or not be prepared? If we will give you an example from a lot of them, from all over the business. What happened to Amazon or any online platform? They get raised dramatically because they have a platform, they have the borderline, they are ready for that. They are ready for the expansion. They are ready for going through the next stage. They are ready. And some organization make a change quickly, and another organization cannot face the change, and they get lost during the crisis, and they will shut down the organization. The 5 points, it's very important. In the similar emergency situation, are your organization well prepared or not? This is, you must to be think from now. Okay, as we talk in the beginning of the life, that we were talking about 3 main points. The first one, how to lead my team through crisis. We talk about it, it's have a 5 pillars. It's very, very, very important 5 pillars. Seek for the credible information. Please use appropriate communication channel. Explain what your organization will do during a crisis. Be present, be visible, be available for your team. Decided the organization resources for the future crisis. Okay. The second point, I will talk about it today. Relationships matter during a crisis. Okay. As we said in the beginning of my life, in the Facebook, that we said that you must to be a calm. If you need to be a calm, your team need to be a calm. Therefore, relationship matter during a crisis. How I can manage a relationship with my team? They are not familiar with this situation. They are get panic. They have problem. They cannot get working under stress. They are overloaded. How I can manage a relation with my team? As we remember that I must to be visible, must to be available for them. Okay. And first, you must to face your emotion first. If you are a fear and you will talk to your team, they will feel that you are a fear. You must to face your emotion first. You must show respect to them. You must be positive with them. You must be make a connection with them and make it regularly and make it daily and make it as much as you can. If you need, you manage your team during a crisis and not lose their focus during a crisis time. You must to face your emotion first to know how to face their emotion. If you didn't do it firstly, you cannot do it for your team. Show respect for them. Say to them, I respect you. I understand that you have a terrible emotion, that you're facing situation you cannot face before. I respect that. But you need, we go on. Be positive with them, not be a negative. Must to be a positive. Make a connection with them as much as you can. Okay? Last point, I will talk about it today. Maintaining perspective in the crisis. How am maintaining the perspective in the crisis? Okay. Think about today. Okay. Be a calm. Okay. Think about today, how we will do it, how we will focus this problem today. Focus in the positive point, get in the ground. Okay? Postpone your development plan, postpone your dream now. We need to get grounded. We need to be on the ground. We need, firstly, be stable in the market. Prioritize and focus. Rearrange your priority points and priority actions. You need to reprioritize and focus on it. Okay? How I maintain a perspective in the crisis to make my team to be focused and to be protective. Please think about today, focus in the positive, get grounded, please prioritize and focus on how we will survive during a crisis, how we will make a reaction plan, how we will put emergency plan, and how we will be reacted during a crisis, how we will be reacted. Please prioritize and focus. Think about it, where we will be and what we will doing year from now. You need to think at all. concerned in the great vision. Please, please put your personality and the professionalism in your hand and with your team. Respect your team, focus with your team, and please give the support for your team. As it, thank you everyone for your attending this live session. And I would like to thank IEEE and Region 8 for this kind of invitation. And I want to thank IEEE 8, Region 8 Professional and Educational Activity for this kind of live session. And I can get your comment and your questions and your feedback. We can get your comment and we can respond it. Okay, we can give it 5 or 10 minutes for the question if anyone have a question. Okay. Okay. Okay, Muhammad, you said that you need the 3R again. Okay, you get it. I think you are get it now. Okay. Did you get it till 3R or you need me to repeat it again? Review, repeat, reinforce. Review, repeat, and reinforce. Okay, welcome. Okay. Did anyone have any questions or any comment? Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your time and for your attending this live session. And as I said before, we will share the material. You will find it in the comment after we end the live session. Okay. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for attending. And have a nice evening and stay safe, and goodbye.